It's the Real Estate Podcast, brought to you by ANZ Home Loans for financial well-beings.
And welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Breakfast, available every morning on iHeartRadio, Spotify and Apple, and wherever you get your podcast from. It is Wednesday, October the 11th today, and in just a moment we are going to be talking about Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast. But first, Brisbane has experienced its sharpest annual house price increase in 13 years. So the property boom really has led to almost 400 suburbs in Brisbane joining the $1 Million Club. It's not bad. And CoreLogic data indicates that house values have increased by 6.2% since reaching a trough back in February of this year, and home prices have surpassed previous peaks, and Brisbane is expected to end 2023 with an 8% increase in home prices. So let's take you to Brisbane this morning. Joining us is Varsha Daswani. She is the principal from SAI Real Estate Group. And good morning, Varsha. Welcome back to the Real Estate Breakfast.
Good morning, Craig. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, there's been a lot to sort of celebrate as far as Brisbane is concerned. But not only Brisbane, you are very heavily involved in the Sunshine Coast. And this morning, for those people that want to know the top 5 suburbs to live in on the Sunshine Coast and why, you're going to give us a little bit of a breakdown on how they compare and which ones are in high demand.
So, Craig, there are top 5 suburbs in Sunshine Coast are like Maroochydore, Coolum Beach, Caloundra, Noosa Will and Mooloolaba. And I'll just give a little bit of breakdown in how it compares and why they are performing the way they are. So Maroochydore is more of coastal living with proximity to CBD, and hence why a lot of people would like to move in Maroochydore. And the median house price in Maroochydore is $935,000, and there are a lot of units as well. In terms of the sales, it has performed really well in the past 12 months. There are about 368 units that have been sold in the past 12 months and 180 houses that have been sold. And actively, there are about 3,859 buyers that are actively looking to buy just in Maroochydore. So suburb-wise, it's performing really well. In terms of Coolum Beach, median house price in Coolum Beach is $1.29 million, and the median unit price is $780,000. The sales, in terms of the sales, there are only 15 to 20 sales that has happened. So the market is a lot of people are looking to buy and hold. They're not selling it. In Caloundra, it's the same. It's an excellent investment location. So a lot of people buy and then rent it out. The median house price in Caloundra is $918,000. And only 10 houses again have been sold in the past 12 months. So the stock is really low, and the people want to buy and hold properties here rather than sell. Hence why you won't see a lot of activity that has happened in the last 12 months here. In terms of Noosa Will, it's a lovely suburb at the edge of the Noosa River. And the median house price compared to all the other suburbs, it's the highest. It's $1.65 million. And about 147 houses have been sold. The median days on the market is only 59 days, which means that it's performing really, really well in terms of it sells really quickly. And again, when you come to Mooloolaba, I prefer Mooloolaba more than any other suburb. It's a heaven among the scenic water bodies, and about 1.4 million is the median house price, and 57 properties have been sold, and the median days on the market is very similar to Noosa Will, which is about 64 days. If you think about it, my favorite is Mooloolaba, but a lot of people do prefer to live in Noosa Will because of the lifestyle again.
Yes, Noosaville, it's all about, of course, the lifestyle there, Varsha, very exclusive. And when we come back in just a moment, we will take a look at Brisbane and some of the high-performing suburbs. We'll do that in just a moment.
We dive deep into topics like buying, selling, investing and maximising your property's value. From mortgage advice to the latest property data and trending numbers, your real estate journey starts here.
And staying in Queensland, I see that over 150,000 Queenslanders have unmet housing needs. And the housing crisis is expected to worsen as the National Rental Affordability Scheme ends in 2026, which of course isn't that far away. The Federal Housing Minister, Julie Collins, highlights the need for serious repair in the housing system, citing the high number of Australians facing homelessness and housing cost challenges. The government's $10 billion Housing Australia Future Fund aims to be a significant investment in affordable and social housing, providing secure funding for generations to come. And let's hope that that does in fact do the job and alleviate some of the stress and pressures. Well, if you're turning a year older today, for October the 11th, happy birthday to you. Joel Edgerton, the Australian actor, he is turning 51. Rebel Wilson is turning 43. Cardi B, the rapper, is turning 30. And Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates, the singer-songwriter, he's turning 75 today.
Get insider tips from industry professionals and level up your real estate game by unlocking the secrets of successful real estate transactions. It's the Main Centre forecast.
And around the country, let's have a look at your weather. First we go to Sydney, expecting a little bit of cloud, but a mainly fine day. 24 is your forecast high. In Melbourne, blue skies, nothing but, and your high 25 degrees. Brisbane expecting lots and lots of sunshine. 28 is your forecast. And in Perth today, expecting cloudy skies, but it's going to be a mainly fine day. Your high 22.
Unlock the secrets of real estate and stay informed about the latest real estate buzz with hot market trends, emerging suburbs and hidden gems.
And it's a Wednesday morning. Your real estate property podcast is here, and we are back with Varsha Daswani, the principal from SAI Real Estate Group. It must be nice being you, because you kind of alternate between Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast, and we're going to have a look right now at some of the major factors affecting the rental market and how it is going to affect future rentals. It was interesting just listening to you talking about some of those empty houses on the Sunshine Coast, because many of them will be. That really doesn't help the whole rental situation, but you got a bit of a breakdown on this.
So, Craig, according to PropTrack data, like the listing volumes are about 21% below the average, and the number of potential renters have actually jumped up to 5.9%. Which means there are fewer property investors that are entering into the market at a time when more and more people have been relocating to southeast Queensland, causing demand to peak. This is causing the rental to escalate and accommodation even more challenging to find in foreseeable future. Good luck to the people who are looking to find something to live in as a rental property. It's just becoming more challenging.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a major headache right around Australia at the moment. So we talked about the top 5 suburbs on the Sunshine Coast. I think people are in for a double treat here, because they get to find out the top 5 suburbs to live in Brisbane and why and how they compare, especially with the high demand. So tell us about Brisbane and the top 5 the way that you see it.
The top 5 are the number 1 is New Farm in the top 5 list, and Kangaroo Point, Ashgrove, the Newmarket and Ascot So New Farm is like the median house price in New Farm is 2.5 million. And only 40 properties have been sold in the past 12 months. Again, people in those high-end suburbs are just wanting to live in and hold the property because it's a lifestyle choice and they're not looking to sell it. Hence why you will see a lot of less activity compared to the other suburbs in Brisbane. Now, Ascot is at $605,000 as a median house price, and only 41 properties have been sold in the past 12 months. Newmarket, on the other side, has performed really, really well. So it's like the median house price is 1.3 million, and only 16 properties have been sold in the past 12 months. But Newmarket has rose up to 9.2% in the last 12 months. Same as Ashgrove. So Ashgrove has the median house price in Ashgrove, if you look at it, is 1.59 million, and about 130 properties have been sold in the past 12 months. So the growth has been absolutely impeccable when it comes to the growth because it's 9.7%. And Kangaroo Point on the other side is just like 1.35 million is a median house price. But because it's a unit market, so there are 270 units that have been sold in the past 12 months.
Yeah, it's a really interesting stat, particularly New Farm. I mean, it is just so tightly held, only 40 properties in the last 12 months. I mean, if there's ever a stat that is going to tell you what suburb is tightly held, it has to be New Farm in Brisbane. All right, let's have a look at the commercial property space because this is an area that you are quite involved with. So having a look at the commercial property market, how has the month been performing in October?
So the number of listings have gone up in the month of October. So we are seeing a lot of properties that are coming on the market and a lot of vacancies that are there. But again, there's a very, very high demand for that and it goes really quickly. So I'll give you an example. We have just sold a property in Bay Terrace in Wynnum because it was a rare property. It was only sold in like 2 weeks from the time it was listed. And we have created a suburb record in Wynnum and was sold at 2.3 million. So it just depends how the property is, where it is, and if it's a quality product, then it gets moved really quickly.
Yes, quality properties on the Sunshine Coast in those 5 suburbs that you mentioned will always be moving quite quickly, just as the 5 suburbs in Brisbane will be as well. All right, Varsha, well, thank you for your observations on our Wednesday morning. Enjoy your day and the rest of your working week there in the sunny Queensland, and we'll talk again soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Craig.
Don't navigate the real estate market alone. Let us help guide you in the world of real estate every day. Make better informed decisions with the latest news and insights.
The lowest sale we saw was $750,000, but of course there was one of the highest sales on the high side of Sherwood, and that one reached just under $5.5 million.
We had about 9 written offers on his property, but we didn't disclose any of his circumstances or anything like that, just he needed to sell.
What's one of the areas that sort of surprised you for 2023 there, one of the suburbs in the Gold Coast?
I think Paradise Waters is a bit of a shining beacon on the Gold Coast. What we found in the sales that we're making, we're finding that we're still getting the record-breaking sales.
We connect you to the best real estate information across Australia. The Real Estate Podcast.